welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Danielle with Cookies and Bacon. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different snack recipes. These are going to be like back to school recipes for the kids. They're going to be kid friendly. They're mainly going to be a little more on the healthy side, not as much sugar in them. These are great for maybe after school. My kids are starting school this next week, so these are great for just grab and go and right after school. So I hope you enjoy them. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and grab your apron and let's get started. To start us off, we're going to be making some apple cinnamon oatmeal bars. Now these are great both cold or hot. My daughter likes to put them in the microwave, and they're good both ways. So we're going to need a whole cup of butter, so 2 sticks of butter, and 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then we're going to mix that up in our mixer just until it's crumbly or well combined, however you prefer. Once it's all mixed through, we're going to add in our 1.5 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 cup of oats. And you can use a stand-up mixer, or you can use a handheld mixer, or you could even use a food processor to blend up all these ingredients. I don't have a big food processor, so that's why I use this mixer. I thought it would be a lot easier. And then once everything's well incorporated, I'm just going to take a 9x13 pan and I'm going to lightly grease it with some olive oil. You can use whatever type of grease that you want, some butter, some whatever, canola oil. And then I'm going to take half of my mixture that I just made and I'm going to press it on the bottom. I'm just making sure that everything is even and smooth and that it's a good solid base for my applesauce. Now I'm going to take my applesauce, which is 1.5 to 2 cups. I think I use pretty close to 2 cups of applesauce. And you can just make sure everything's covered with the applesauce. Now you could even add in some real apples. If you sauteed some apples and some cinnamon, that would be really good as well. Some fresh apples would be good in this base. I just use applesauce, and I put in 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon in with my applesauce, and now I'm just using the rest of that mixture, and I'm putting that on top. And then I'm going to bake that in the oven at 325, and I'm going to bake that for about 40 minutes, closer to 45 minutes. This is a wonderful snack that's not too sugary or sweet. Now I'll be making some peanut butter banana muffins. So in a medium mixing bowl, I'm going to take 1/2 cup of milk and 1/2 cup of peanut butter, along with 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 egg, 1/2 cup of yogurt, 1/2 cup of maple syrup, and 2 ripe bananas. And I'm just going to blend it until it's well combined, until it's nice and smooth. And then we will add our dry ingredients. Our dry ingredients in another medium bowl. So we're going to add in 1 3/4 cup of flour. You can use whatever type of flour you want. I just used regular white all-purpose flour. And then I add in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I just stirred it till it was well combined. And then I'm just going to add it to my wet ingredients. I just mix this together until it's well combined. You definitely don't want to overmix or the muffins will become tough. So just mix until it's well combined, and then I went ahead and added to my muffin tins. These made about 18 muffins when they were all done. I did make mine a little bit bigger than maybe some people would. I like to make them kind of like a bakery style. So I use a cookie scoop and I just scoop them in there. And I baked them at 425 and I baked them for about 12 minutes. Now you can, for 5 minutes, you can bake them at 425, and then for the remaining, 7 minutes, you bake them at 350. My kids get tired of plain old yogurt, so I thought this would be a fun twist to some healthy yogurt. So I'm going to put 2 cups of my favorite type of yogurt, which is vanilla Greek yogurt, in the bowl. And then I'm just going to add in half a cup of honey, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of lemon juice, and just a pinch of salt, just a little bit. I'm just going to mix that up, and then I'm going to put that on a cookie sheet. I'm going to flatten it out so that it's all even, and then I'll add in the rest of my toppings on top of it. You can use whatever toppings you want. You can use strawberries, blueberries. You can even do like chocolate chips. You can do like a peanut butter drizzle. It's really whatever you want. I didn't have blueberries, or else I would have done strawberries and blueberries. But for what I had, I just did some strawberries with some granola on top. And then I did freeze it for about 4 hours. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And then we will break it and put it in a baggie, and they can have it as a snack for whenever they get home from school or whenever they want a snack. One thing about this snack though is when it's done out of the freezer, you have to break it immediately or it's going to start thawing, and then it's going to turn into that liquidy yogurt. So you won't be able to break it very easily. So you pretty much have to break it as soon as you can, put it in baggies, put it back in the freezer until they're ready to eat it. But this is a great snack. It's very healthy for them. And I just think this is a good add-in to our snack routine. Next, I'm going to be making some blueberry muffin energy bites. Now, the recipe that I have posted in the description box, there are like tons of different energy balls. I think there's 8 different kinds. You can mix and diversify this recipe so much to make it to what you want or what your kids like. But for this, I just did blueberry muffin ones, so I need 1 cup of dry oats. So I do half a cup of old-fashioned and half a cup of quick oats, and then fourth a cup of peanut butter, fourth a cup of honey, half a cup of the dried blueberries, and then I just did just a teeny bit of salt, a fourth a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I have one of my kids helping me mix this. I do have lots of helpers to help make all of my yummy treats. But I'm just gonna mix this, and then I'm just going to form them into balls. I do freeze them because I think that that's easier to get them to form properly. So I kind of just use a cookie scoop and scoop them out, and then I freeze them, and then I put them into some Tupperware for the fridge for them to grab whenever. So this is a very easy and simple recipe. My kids love it when I make the double chocolate energy bite, which is going to be linked to my description box. So if you want to check that out, just click on that. But there, like I said earlier, there are so many different energy bites that are absolutely phenomenal. Also, if you, like, one of my kids is allergic to peanut butter, so you can always change that peanut butter out for almond butter and it'll taste just the same. So, and here are my kids devouring the energy bites. Pretty much what I make is what they eat ASAP. It's hard to have leftovers or even like a lot of snacks in the house because, you know, I have 4 kids under the age of 7 and they devour everything within minutes. So. Like usual, I save the best for last. So here is some no-bake peanut butter Cheerio bars. These, it's only 3 ingredients. It's super simple. I don't know if you can get any simpler than this. It's just peanut butter, Cheerios, and honey. So you have 3 cups of Cheerios, 3/4 cup of peanut butter, half a cup of honey. I'm just melting the honey and the peanut butter over a stove, getting it nice and stirred through, making sure everything got melted through. And then once everything's melted on the stovetop, I'm just gonna add in my Cheerios. And then I'm going to transfer it to an 8x8 pan. I did put some parchment paper in there just so nothing sticks or anything like that. And then once I got everything into the 8x8 pan, I did go ahead and transfer it to the fridge so that it could so it could get cold before I cut them and serve them to the kids. Alright, so now that I just took them out of the fridge, I'm going to go ahead and cut them up. Now this is completely optional, but my son was almost begging me that I did this. He thought that some chocolate should go on top, which I absolutely agree that chocolate should go on top. I mean, it's not the healthiest for him, but, you know, I definitely think that that would have been a good addition to these snacks. So I just cut them up. And my kids loved them. It was kind of like a peanut butter Rice Krispie treat, so they were really good. And here's everything that we made in this video. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Bye-bye for now.